Hello, 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 hi. I'm so excited to start the live stream. Welcome to Streams of Collective Consciousness. I'm Ellie and I host these every Tuesday and Friday from 4 p.m. to about 6 to 6:30 Central Time. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about sustainable fashion news. We're going to talk about what's happening in environmentalism, and we're going to be talking about social justice. So if you are looking forward to that, stick around. I'm going to be here for about 2 hours. If you are listening to the recorded version, hi, hello, no judgment. I'm happy that you're here. Taking the time to get started. This is basically how the live stream functions. I'm a very structured person. I need this to keep me on board and to keep me like motivated. So at 4 p.m. we always start off with like sustainable fashion news, and then we get into a bit more of like fashion shows, games, the fun stuff later on. Sometimes I still talk about news and miss the fashion shows. And then I always end it off with social issues. I talk about environmentalism stuff, any positive news later on. So look forward to that, and try to do little breaks here and there, obviously, to, keep the brain relaxed. And then still trying to figure out how to game without a PC system. I'm actually live streaming on my laptop and a monitor. I just have like things precariously hooked up, but it's fine. It's okay. You're doing that. We're doing it. It's okay. We're doing it. And yeah, here's all my social medias if you want to follow me. I'm Ellie, but I also go under the name Sustainable Allure. That's my platform. I have my blog. So yeah. Yes. And if you ever want me to talk about something, let's say you find an interesting bit of news, or you want me to like highlight your work, anything related to like ethical fashion, anything related to environmentalism, any social justice news that you want me to uplift, I'm more than happy to look at it. You just have to fill out this form, and then I'll cover it in the next live stream. So there's that, and the link will be in my description, and this Canva deck will also be in my description. And while you listen and enjoy the music and read about me, I'm going to see if the audio works. Okay. So the music is so cute. I actually used this music. It's so cute. It's 1 hour of aesthetic music. Yes. Okay. So audio is much better now. Okay. So I saw this in the last stream, but I may change the Slack channel to a Discord channel. But if you ever want to volunteer for like ethical fashion or sustainable fashion, I have a blog called sustainablemore.com. So if you ever want to like practice your writing, you can always submit a request to become a writer. So everything will be on my website. You'll see a little tab to volunteer. It's also in my description, and it's like once a month sort of expectation or less if you're really busy. But it'll be published on an established blog if you want. And then I'm still trying to get the hang of Substack. I'm kind of scared. It's like another micro blog. But newsletters are so amazing. That's how I get a lot of my news on sustainable fashion. So definitely still in the works. Probably will be out in April. I have an eBay if you ever want to support me, and these things are kind of to be determined. So don't pay attention to that. But yeah, I always like to do like a personal segment before I start, so you know who I am. Obviously I do a blog, obviously I do live streaming, obviously I do YouTube, but I just turned 28 March 6th, which was like it feels like 5 years ago. I was gonna say 5 years ago, but it feels like 5 days ago. and I'm 28. I look like I'm 20. I get it. But no, I'm 28, and yeah, I just actually started my like 3rd job today. I'm gonna work at a senior place and gonna do minimum wage jobs. I'm not too excited. There is a high turnover at the place I'm gonna start, but it's because they pay so little. Like, I don't know how people ask for so much experience for very little. Like, they're paying $15 an hour for some cases or less, and it's basically like entry level, very young people coming in and out. So they're constantly onboarding people, constantly training people, constantly getting people on payroll. So it's taking a big toll on the person that's in charge of everything, and I have noticed. But I mean, when you're a huge company and don't pay your workers, then obviously there's going to be a high turnover. And I saw that today, but it's like a symptom of everything else. It's like, it's greed. Like, how do you think people are going to stay in a job if you're not paying them? So that's what I was reflecting on. I don't plan on staying there for more than like a couple months. I just need to save up money and then hopefully hear back from another place. But I'm not leaving until you hear back from like a stable, like a 9 to 5, you can say. But it's like an emergency job just to pay the bills, but I'm excited. And then I drove really quickly back from the training to be here. This is what I love doing. So yeah, let's get into the news. The music suddenly stopped. Oh, it like fast forward for some reason. I've never seen that. I thought I started it from the start. What? They must have been like, oh, you're trashing on capitalism. Here's an ad. Whoa, I like literally started it from the start. Now I went all the way into an hour. Creepy. Anyway, it's capitalism. So to get into the sustainable fashion news, I want to get into the White Lotus and the escapism enduring allure. I've been seeing White Lotus everywhere for some reason. I haven't watched the show. I don't know what it's about, but Fashion Dive did an article on it, and I think we should explore it. It starts by saying that there's an excess of resort living that is on a trend, and it's like basically the fashion world's new favorite television series. Again, I haven't watched it, but I'm curious to see what it means for fashion. Let's listen.
The White Lotus and escapism's enduring allure. There's nothing quiet about the luxury on display in the fictional world of HBO's The White Lotus, and that's the whole point. Now in its 3rd season, the TV series is a showcase of privilege and excess, even as the show criticizes its own blatant displays of wealth. The fashion worn by guests at the show's namesake hotel is, perhaps, the most obvious indicator of their lavish lifestyle. Costume designer Alex Beauvard has been nominated for 2 Emmy Awards as a result of her work, which blends vintage runway pieces, current must-have accessories and custom designer one-offs. We always have this little catchphrase on the show: nothing's too much for the White Lotus. Beauvard said in a release announcing a 25-piece line of gilded, jungle-themed clothes she created in collaboration with H&M to coincide with Season 3.
No.
So, I'm drawn more to the bold patterns and the more sumptuous, billowing pieces. The show's style has become so popular that most of Beauvard's H&M pieces sold out in under 2 weeks.
Oh no.
Beauvard isn't the only one to cash in on the show's appeal. Other collaborations that have sprung up this year include an Abercrombie & Fitch line of separates, beach and resort-themed collections with both Bloomingdale's and Banana Republic, a skincare gift set from Kiehl's, eyewear from Diff, and a now sold-out suitcase from Away. One of the show's stars this season, actor Parker Posey, has signed on to be the face of the latest Gap ad campaign. In addition, designer Camilla Franks, whose work has appeared on previous seasons of the show, released a new ready-to-wear clothing and accessories collection as an official partnership with the White Lotus. Barbara E. Kahn, a professor of marketing at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, said the show's fashion appeal comes from a combination of factors that blended together at the right time. It's a perfect storm of a great commercial context, Kahn said. It's a context that lends itself really well to all these brand collaborations. The diversity of characters and the fun clothing are certainly part of that equation, Khan said, adding that the fashions are the kinds of things that you would want to buy, to be seen in. But Khan also emphasized the role the setting plays in making these clothes seem appealing. It is luxury travel, vacation, leisure wear, all of that, Khan said. It's not like a pair of jeans. It's stuff that you would go out to buy for a vacation or something like that. So it would be a trigger for purchase. According to list data drops, the first 2 episodes of The White Lotus set off a surge of internet searches tied directly to the show's signature fashions. In the weeks following the release of Season 3, which began February 16th, searches for crochet were up 11%, while searches for caftans were up 7% and searches for cutout floral dresses rose 53%. List also reported that brand names associated with the show also saw a bump, with searches for low sunglasses up 18% and searches for fashion label Allure rose 50%. In addition, searches for Shea swim shorts, which were worn by actor Patrick Schwarzenegger, shot up 305%, and the baller style he wore in the current season's first episode became the most wanted item on the List fashion shopping platform.
Why? We don't need these
The White
things.
Lotus effect on fashion is a fascinating topic, especially considering its contrast to past entertainment-driven collaborations like Barbie and the less successful Wicked tie-ins. Keith A. Fraley, an assistant professor of fashion business management at the Fashion Institute of Technology, said in an email. The show's setting, sun-drenched, exclusive destinations, aligns with the growing consumer desire for effortless, vacation-ready styling. It's not just about the clothing, i.e., caftans, breezy linens, relaxed tailoring, it's about the lifestyle it represents: discreet affluence, curated leisure, and understated sophistication. Fraley also said that brands were embracing the White Lotus aesthetic for its nostalgic, timeless appeal, as opposed to chasing fleeting trends. In an era where consumers crave escape, fashion has become a gateway to aspirational experiences, much like past travel-driven trends, Fraley said. With major brands like H&M, Banana Republic, and Kiehl's tapping in, its cultural influence is undeniable, though its longevity remains to be seen. The show's impact on lifestyle consumption may also be helping brands and companies not officially affiliated with The White Lotus leverage some of its allure. Casual contemporary brand Chico's recently released a collection of ponchos, kimonos and floaty dresses. Earlier this year, Anthropologie released its first collection of resortwear, called Celandine, which the company said was tied to an increased consumer interest in travel. Another big part of the White Lotus aesthetic, Khan said, is that the show's style is easy for consumers to replicate in their everyday wardrobe. That has helped the TV series find larger fashion appeal, where other entertainment collaborations may have fallen short. I think it really does matter, the authenticity of the branding in the context, Khan said. The movie, Wicked, wasn't an authentic context for everyday life. What's really good about White Lotus is if you see something, and it looks great on the show, and you just really have to have it, this is something that makes sense in your life. Like if you're traveling or something like that, or you want to get some new fashion. Wicked wasn't as realistic in that context.
Is it literally just travel wear? It's just travel wear and escapism and fast fashion. What is happening? Why are the comments turned off? Mysterious. Can it really be an exclusive fast fashion resort collection? Isn't that just like another micro trend? It captures the allure of escapism, adventure, and tropical glamour. I feel like people are so desperate for a vacation that they're literally romanticizing a show and fashion so that they can look forward to a vacation in some way. If it's not physical, it's through their entertainment shows. Oh my gosh. I can't even. Ugh. Well, I don't really agree that we should be supporting this H&M collection. It's just, it's so unnecessary. We really don't need it. What's the appeal of White Lotus either ways? Like, I've never watched it. Maybe we should watch a trailer. It's gonna just be a bunch of bougie people with random drama. It's giving a Taylor Swift
will
vibes.
be an entirely different person. What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.
Amen. Amen.
Our hotel is the best in the world. At the end of the week, you will be an entirely different person.
To Thailand and a week of new memories.
This place is insane. We should always live like this.
I'm so happy. All my babies all together.
I hope you enjoy Thailand.
We usually go to the Caribbean.
Is this a show about Karens?
I feel really lucky to be here. I want to learn everything I can and bring the magic back to Maui.
It's a wellness center. You should get a facial. Rick, the lady in the airport thought you were my dad.
My God.
Old friends.
Long-time friends, not old.
What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.
Yeah, not my cup of tea. I can see the demographic. I can see the demographic, and it's certainly not a Mexican girl. Yeah, not my cup of tea. They should stop creating H&M collections. I don't get why we keep coming up with stuff we're not really gonna use all year round. Okay, I don't really have much thoughts about that. I don't want to be mean, so I'm just gonna move on. It's not my cup of tea. They should stop making fast fashion collaborations. That's all I'm going to say, because it's unnecessary. But to more important stuff, there is important state legislator that's really attacking fashion sustainability and safety concerns. This is what I'm excited to talk about, but basically there's a lot happening within the fashion world. There's been the Americas Act, which basically is something that is new, but is really taking aim at what they say is supply chain sustainability. It happened this summer. The thing about articles is they say a bunch of nothing. So, if you don't know, the Americas Act is a bipartisan effort by Congress members, and it basically includes a proposition that $45 billion should be placed within circularity efforts that include apparel, footwear, and accessories. And basically they want to create a partnership among Western Hemisphere countries to basically push forward trade, create jobs, and more regional stability. Now, obviously with the tariffs, that's just going to get harder, but basically with the Americas Act, we can win the power competition against communist China by selling our two best products, which is democracy and capitalism. Obviously, these are Democrats that still believe democracy is alive and true and are demonizing communists, which I'm not surprised since they're Americans, but just because people are supporters of sustainable fashion doesn't mean they're anti-capitalist. Sometimes they're the most capitalist people ever in support of sustainable fashion, or they even support like military power or violence and stuff like that. But everyone comes from different parts of life when they push forward for like localized fashion industries. So I don't totally align with this version of pushing forward sustainable fashion, and I don't agree with that narrative, but that's just me. But there is more push within Congress to successfully create a circular fashion industry in the face of competition with China. Maybe the tariffs will push this act back, or maybe even forward. Things are still to play out a bit more. But yeah, this original article basically explains that there is a lot of federal level action, and one of the other things that have passed is the Responsible Textile Recovery Act. It passed in October and September 2024. And it was actually first introduced in 2023 as SP 707. And basically it established the nation's first extended producer responsibility, or EPR program for textiles. And it basically makes apparel producers, like brands, are responsible of what happens to their products. And it could basically impact how much companies make. So I think it really wakes them up to, okay, like, we have to pay money for the waste. Like, we have to clean things up now. But I mean, they should have been doing that a long time ago. Like, I don't know how it rests on the executive's consciousness that so much clothing is ending up in the landfill and destroying literal economies and people's livelihoods. So, I mean, if they're just going to be paying with money right now, that's like the first step, but they eventually will have to deal with their consciousness and like their legacy in the long run, because they're actively making decisions where they've never really cared before, and now they're literally being forced to. But hopefully this benefits like other people from different parts of the group, from the globe and the planet, because we're just literally suffering from their decisions. Like, these executives from these brands just make, but like don't really think, okay, like this is negatively impacting others. So yeah, the cool thing about the California Act is that it will basically reuse, repair, and recycle clothing through programs. And there's going to be apparently some efforts to redesign products for sustainability. And it's basically like urging consumers to, you know, participate. Maybe there is going to be a bit of a lag on their part to be like, okay, let me reuse, recycle, repair my clothing, instead of having all the blame put on the brands. But it's a good effort. We've never seen this before. They're also pushing forward the producer responsibility organizations, which are also abbreviated as PRO, and it would basically make sure that brands are meeting their regulatory and financial obligations within the program, so it's not, again, up to the consumers. And yeah, there's other things like New York. They're going to basically have more worker rights. It's called the New York State Retail Worker Safety Act, and basically it would make retailers take measures to increase safety within stores. It's not a huge thing. I feel like they need to be paid more in general, but now you know, retail workers will have improved working conditions. There's going to be better lighting. There's going to be physical panic buttons in their store that immediately alerts the authorities to come, you know, to their store. And so this measure is going to impact companies with more than 50 retail employees. So it's probably going to be like big fashion brands, basically. So all the small locally owned ones in New York will not have to, you know, pay attention, sadly enough. Hopefully they care about their workers, but given how things function, probably not. But yeah, so if you haven't heard of that, you should definitely look into the New York State Retail Worker Safety Act. And then there's another thing that was passed in New York called the New York State Fashion Workers Act. Oh wait, it's the same thing. But basically, one of the parts of that, I guess, a subsection is that it's going to protect models. Models are susceptible to like subcontracted work. And they're like basically freelancers for like gigs. So they're going to basically look out for their safety concerns so that they're not like, I guess, exploited, and that they are honored their rights, which is good. I mean, it's like the basic necessities of a worker, but it's good, I guess. And then there's like more stuff that's happening like in Massachusetts. I haven't personally heard of this before, but basically there's an act to establish fashion sustainability and social responsibility in the Commonwealth. So in January 2023, state representatives David M. Rogers and Tram T. Nguyen introduced Massachusetts H420. This bill would basically make large fashion companies doing work in Massachusetts, I cannot say that, Massachusetts, have supply chain mapping and disclosure, have due diligence reports, and verification of sustainability and social accountability by the state. And basically the legislation would require fashion brands selling in excess of 100 million in global revenue to confront and address their eco footprint and ensure that the companies are also taking care of the workers who make their products. So there's actually no upcoming hearings scheduled. So it seems like it's kind of stalling right now, but I haven't heard of it, but that would be great to see if it was actually implemented. And then in Washington State, there's actually something called SB 5965, and it's in conjunction or a companion to HP 2068. There's so many numbers involved with legislation, it kind of is irritating me. But basically, in January 2024, it was an act. This is an act that relates to the environmental impacts of fashion. I wish they could call it like something cool so I can remember it, because I'm not going to remember these names. But basically, the bill addresses the fashion industry's water use, chemical and dye-related pollution, hazardous waste, and carbon emissions. So basically, it would, in beginning of January 1st, 2027, so in, what is it, 2 years? I don't even know what year we're in. 2027. It will make fashion brands establish, track, and disclose progress towards performance targets. How would a brand reach performance targets? I wonder what they mean by performance targets. I feel like they're gonna like take an arrow and like shoot it at a target or something, like literally to excuse themselves for not doing anything. Yeah, they're gonna be like, yeah, we tried, we shot our shot somehow. I think they need to clarify what performance targets mean. And they're gonna establish that under the legislation, I guess.
When work's underway, play Red Bull
Oh my
buzzer
gosh.
keep your eyes on the clock. And when the countdown
Where's
reaches
the ad at?
hit the buzzer to get Red Bull delivered straight to your door. Tap
Wait,
now
there's
to
an
buzzer.
ad. Do you guys hear that?
Red Bull gives you wings.
I can't find the thing. Whatever. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is good to see, but I wonder what performance targets means for fashion brands. That's the thing, like, you can be saying a bunch of stuff, but like, what are these sustainable brands actually going to be held accountable for? Blah blah blah. And it's just like a big fancy number, and it's like fancy committees. They're going to report to the Committee of Environment, Energy, and Technology. But again, like, there's no movement. Everything is stalling. Everything is just sitting there. Ugh. And then here's this. Listen to this. This legislation built upon Washington State SB 5607, which was first introduced in January 2023, but has made no movement. Y'all are just making bills after bills after bills. Everything is dying. What's happening with these people? Why is it not moving? Oh, we need more energy. Like, quite literally. Like human energy, not fossil fuel energy to fuel this. We need more pressure. I feel like there's just not a lot of pressure or awareness of these legislations, these bills. It's cool, but like, what's happening? I wish I could talk to every single state representative and be like, why is this stalling, my guy? Like, what's happening? I'm not gonna blame it all on them. Obviously, like, they're introducing the bills, so I guess they're on our side in some way when they're not calling China, you know, nasty communists. But I wonder what's happening. Why is everything just sitting? But the article did start off with like a good examples of things that did pass, like the California Act, There's like the New York stuff. So there's hope. There is hope. But I need some more stuff to happen. Gotta push the needle forward. I love legislation efforts. I think those are the most important things to create like holistic, change. But things are very slow right now. Very slow. But in terms of like individual action on a localized level, I saw this article that talks about how a group in a college is basically pushing forward sustainable fashion. So it's called the BU Closet, and it's being done by Boston University students. This is them. This is their logo, BU Closet. Here's their little closet. But yeah, basically it explains that Iffany was given an assignment to complete a passion project during her freshman year. And so she decided to pursue a long-time interest, which is the intersection of fashion and sustainability. And she basically used a storage bin and a poster board and paint and began collecting clothing from outside her dorm room. And this beginning basically led to the BU Closet, which is a thriving campus initiative that now hosts monthly sustainable fashion swaps. And it has attracted hundreds of students, so we should watch this.
My name is Iffany. Tiffany without the T is how I always introduce myself. People get confused. I'm a senior at Boston University in the College of Arts and Sciences, studying economics and environmental analysis and policy. Yeah, I started as a sociology major actually. Still don't know what that means, but I really liked the environment side of sociology. And I had that interest earlier on in high school, just taking AP Environmental Science. So then I decided to try out some environment classes and then ended up with environmental analysis and policy. And then later on added the econ major because I really like the intersection between the two. And then I like the applications of econ in the real world. So being able to pair them together, I feel like really matches like my passion and my personal interests with applications. So BU Closet, I founded my freshman year, fall semester actually. It's free, sustainable, accessible clothing swaps. So we call it BU Shared Closet, where anyone is welcome, anyone and everyone, to come and pick out clothing for free. And yeah, the whole idea of it is that there's so much overconsumption on campus and in the world, but specifically on campus, being able to mitigate the waste that we have when we overconsume and just cycle clothing right back into the community. That's the whole premise that BU Closet is based off of. Yeah, so we played around with, keeping a physical space, a permanent physical space that was, BU's closet. But we ultimately decided to do events, kind of running clothing swaps. We do one about once a month on average. And the reason why we decided to do that was because it's a great opportunity for everyone to come together and, have a community event in person, rather than having just like a closet space people can come and go, which, that has its pros too, but being able to see everyone come together and everyone kind of like donating clothes, picking out clothes, trying on clothes together, I feel like that community aspect of BU Closet is what really, makes us such a, I would say, inclusive and vibrant community. But yeah, how it works is we do drives throughout the semester, and then we do a swap about once a month. So all the clothing that we get from drives go straight to our swaps. And then the swap, we just have, our marketing team put out all of that. We have our outreach team work to partner with different organizations. And then our events team puts on the actual swap itself. And then we have, people coming to volunteer, people coming to take photos. Yeah, it's really cool to see all the moving parts come together at a swap, yeah. Yeah, so starting out freshman fall, yeah, it was just me and one of my friends from class. And, the only resources we had was a bin that my roommate had, and that was our clothing drive bin. So it was one of the storage bins, like a typical move-in storage bin. So I put that outside of my dorm and posted on the group me and on my Instagram story. And then I had texted my RA to help me advertise it to the other RAs so they could spread it to the floors in Killetron Hall. But yeah, I had that bin out. I had a big piece of poster paper and some paint, and I wrote KHC Clothing Drive. And yeah, I guess like with limited resources, that's what we were able to come up with, but we were able to get a decent amount of clothing donations from that. And then now in contrast to that, you know, we went from like a 2-person team to now we have an 11-person executive board, and then we have 50 other members who are actively on teams that help out in the swaps. So we have a huge team, and you know, we all do such different things. Now we're able to expand like our media presence, we're able to expand our outreach across campus, and we've been able to partner with so many different organizations. Organizations I never thought would even like recognize BU Closet, I guess. So we've partnered with BU Sustainability, BU Student Government, BU Pride. We've even partnered with the BU Medical Campus twice now. We do every Earth Day every year. What other cool ones? We've done BU UNICEF. We're doing it with a few frats. We've done Epsilon Eta, DSP, APO. So yeah, a lot of different collaborations that have really come out through the past year. So just like a growing community is the biggest thing I think that I've been able to see. And then at the swaps itself, we average from anywhere between 200 to 500 people. And then with that, so many more clothing being donated and so much more clothing being swapped, which is great to see. And then earlier when I said that, you know, I could name everyone in the room, you know, now people are coming, and I don't even know how they heard about it, how they found us, but I'm like really glad that they were able to. So I've always been aware of it. I have had friends who are super involved in it and have definitely supported from afar. But what really got us more involved was the vice president of BU Closet, Hannah Martin. She did a program at Innovate over the summer and really connected with all the faculty involved. She connected with all her peers. She's still really good friends with all of them. So she spoke very highly in general of Innovate, and then kind of brought to us like, guys, we should kind of use this resource and see what we can do with Innovate, see what we can do at Innovate even. So our big plan with the money right now, I think, is to put it into our Earth Day swap. So our Earth Day swap is probably the biggest one that we always do every single year. So we swap the most amount of clothing, and we also have the most amount of people come. And an issue that we've kind of run into is that with a lot of people coming, we want to like make sure there's enough clothing for everyone, and we also want to make sure there's a big enough space, and we also want kind of like a little bit of branding and legitimacy with the event, just so people know that this is something that exists, is something they can come back to. So we're hoping to really put the money into making the event the best event that it can be. So obviously more clothing racks and more hangers to be able to accommodate the more clothing that we have. But yeah, just being able to like go really hone in on making a really good event and a really lasting legacy.
They cut her off. This is really cool. They have basically free and sustainable clothing swaps. That's so cool. I wonder if they have like an Instagram. That'd be really amazing to see. But I just love when more groups, whether high school or college, just like get together and do this. Like I truly love seeing this happen. Boston U Closet, free sustainable clothing swap since 2021. I love that. I love their Instagram. Whoa. And they have a big team, like she was saying. Oh, that's super cool. That's their spring e-board. Oh, nice. Their social media is so cool. I love this. This is a clothing drive that they had in February. They donated, they were collecting donated, used, or new clothing. So no bedding, no towels, no shoes, no undergarments. I love this. I love their social media. This was a recap. 132 people came and they swapped 232 items. Oh, so cute. That's so wholesome. I've been hearing more and more that there's like Depop ambassadors. I may actually interview someone and be like, hey, what's it like being a Depop ambassador? Because I know someone that knows a Depop ambassador. I don't know if you guys have heard of Depop ambassadors before, but it's just becoming an increasing thing. I'm not sure if they're volunteers, if they're staff, or they're being paid, but I think Depop is very familiar that there's more sustainability within campuses and is almost profiting off of like their interest, and now they're making ambassadorships. But again, I don't really know what they're up to. We could always YouTube it right now because I have not really done my investigations, but I have heard of it. Become a Depop ambassador. What is this? I don't see anything on YouTube. I like how I instinctively went to Google even though I have Ecosia. Oops. What is this? Depop student program. Help reduce fashion waste, raise awareness of circular fashion on your campus, and make money while you do it. Depop is launching a brand ambassador program at UCLA, I cannot read today, UCLA and UC Irvine in 2023. So this was an old article. We're looking for active students who are highly active on campus to get involved. As an ambassador for Depop, you'll lead marketing campaigns, events, partnerships, and content creation to grow awareness of Depop within your network. Oh, interesting. They're looking for a Depop user who loves circular fashion, actively engaged on campus and part of a social, sport, or educational club, community, or organization. You're outgoing and love to talk to people. It's like a community organizer for Depop. Active on social media with at least 1,000 followers on either Instagram or TikTok. Okay. You're comfortable with finding partners and locations for marketing campaigns. Interesting. You're comfortable executing in real life innovative marketing stunts on campus and assisting with arranging events. Huh. You'll get experience with marketing, event planning, social media, marketing, analytics, branding, project management, and overseeing budgets, direct training and coaching by Depop employees. We'll offer you $16 per hour compensation plus competitive bonus opportunities. An opportunity to work with a brand you're passionate about and who cares about the planet. What?
Depop. If there's one app you need to be on, it's Depop.
I buy on Depop, I sell on Depop.
Kind of everybody's on Depop. It's like a melting pot of all different kinds of people.
I'm just like, what is the new trend now? And then I'll buy it.
You can find anything on Depop from this.
What? They definitely want to get into college students' bank account. This is not a coincidence. I feel like they know that the Gen Zs have eco-anxiety. Don't, why are you trying to sell them more stuff?
Designer pieces to vintage clothing.
Scrolling through Depop, and it's like a portal to like so much cool stuff.
If you love fashion and the planet, get on Depop.
Why? Depop, stop. We're not gonna buy ourselves into the solution. I mean, I sell my stuff on Depop, but I've never lied to anyone saying that this is gonna solve the problem. They may not have explicitly said, hey, we're gonna fix the problem, but like that's what they're alluding. Do you care? Do you care about the planet? Do you care about fashion and trends? Buy from us. We'll help you, help us, help everyone. Ugh. Okay, there's Depop ambassadors for you, and there was one at this event. What the heck? We don't need Depop ambassadors. The whole point is to just buy what you need and then get the rest locally. I don't like this Depop ambassadorship thing. I mean, it does give an opportunity for like quote unquote a career in circular fashion. Don't get me wrong, we do need that, but it just kind of feels like a walking advertisement for the app. That feels kind of nasty. But I love this group. I think this group is super cool. I think we need more of this on campus without the Depop ambassadors, to be honest. But again, no hate for individuals who become Depop ambassadors. I sell on Depop, but I just, we don't need that much marketing, okay? We know it exists. We already know it's there. Okay, so we're gonna just move on. But basically, there has been more movement towards fashion change. So there is a representative called, I don't know how to say his name. Espaillat? 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 Oh gosh, help me God. How do you say this?
Espaillat.
Espaillat. Espaillat is his name. What is his name? And Rouzer? Oh, I cannot say that. Guys, I'm like too tired and I don't know.
Espaillat and Rouzer.
Okay. Okay, very unique man. Unique man, unique name. So basically, he announced that there's going to be a Textile Caucus for the 119th Congress. Okay, very fancy news. Okay. So, oh, his name is Adriano. Bro, you should have just said that from the start. So Adriano and David announced the launch of the Congressional Textile Caucus. So in the United States alone, there is more than 600,000 textile workers whose fingerprints can be found on everything from personal protective equipment, so basically PPE, to high quality running shoes and our military uniforms, says Mr. Representative Adriano. In neighboring countries in Central America, the Caribbean, and parts of South America, millions of workers utilize U.S. cotton and fiber inputs to create t-shirts, jeans, and countless other textile and apparel products which are shipped back to the U.S. stores duty-free. Now, there's going to be tariffs on that, so I think this article is outdated. But basically, in the past, it's created a circular, mutual beneficial co-production environment throughout the Northern Triangle. As co-chair of the Textile Caucus for the 119th Congress, I look forward to addressing in caution, like no caution, and potential risks from players like Shein, Temu, and others, and their special interests in Washington. Together in collaboration with the co-chair, our colleagues and textile employees from across the hemisphere, we will work to end unfair trade practices in the 119th Congress. The bipartisan Textile Caucus is committed to protecting our domestic industry. Ooh, okay. I don't know if that's bad or good. So basically, an argument that they're making in terms of like the domestic fashion industry is that as a key pillar of our economy and the nation's leading textile producer, North Carolina's textile industry is vital. Okay, they're going to North Carolina. Yeehaw! Wait, do they? That's Texas. I didn't know there was like a textile industry in North Carolina. Okay. It would sustain thousands of jobs, strengthen rural communities, and fuel innovation. The bipartisan Textile Caucus is committed to protecting our domestic industry, advocating for fair trade, and supporting America's cotton growers. Yeah, did not know that. So basically, these co-chairs are relaunching this critical congressional caucus today. Oh, okay, so the House Textile Caucus was already in existence. It was just dead. Like everything else with sustainable fashion laws. They're trying to revive something. Nice, interesting. So they're going to focus on advocating for key manufacturing policies and other initiatives aimed at preserving and expanding the vital domestic textile supply chain and co-production chain with our Western Hemisphere trade partners. Good luck with the tariffs. Bolstering government procurement of American-made textile products. I think they're going after the cotton production in North Carolina. Stepped up customs enforcement of trade and fraud and penalties. I think they're going to ramp up the what's it called, the copyright infringement things that are happening a lot within the fashion industry. And countering ongoing threats from predatory trade practices that have harmed our industry. Like fast fashion? Gotta stop fast fashion, my guys. That's the secret. That's the true harm to the local fashion production. And then they continue on to say, we look forward to working closely with the co-chairs and the entire bipartisan caucus to further promote the supply chain, which supplies more than 8,000 items to the U.S. military. It makes innovative and cutting-edge products for the commercial and industrial markets, employing nearly 500,000 workers and producing $64 billion in output. Okay, they're going after the military production. They want made in America military clothing. Nice, good to know. So, the American Circular Textiles group, called ACT, is welcoming the relaunch of the Congressional Textile Caucus under the leadership of these representatives. So basically, they want to see the strengthening of the U.S. textile industry not just as an economic imperative, but a way to drive competitive domestic business environments, have a more prosperous U.S. workforce, and have circular futures. So they're looking forward to collaborate with the caucus to drive policies that bolster domestic manufacturing, support innovative reuse and recycling solutions, and reinforce the U.S. as a leader in responsible textile production. Sounds like they want to make slow fashion or sustainable fashion nationalistic for the sake of promoting more localized jobs and laws and stuff and manufacturing. I'm not very nationalistic. I never said sustainable fashion needs to be made in America. I think it's highly unrealistic this is going to happen, given how huge SHEIN and Temu are at. So I feel like we just need to pressure fast fashion brands to not being so evil and stop exploiting their workers. And that could create true change versus trying to bring what I feel like is impossible back in the United States. Like, does North Carolina even have the infrastructure to do domestic fashion production? I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but it doesn't seem like it. But it explains here that the United States is the second largest global exporter of textile-related products and is the lead exporter of fiber, textiles, and apparel, which nearly reached $30 billion in 2023. And they value shipments of national exports for textiles and apparel at $65 billion annually. So they're making a lot of uniforms, equipment, textile production, and PPE. I think they're making the PPE in Los Angeles because they have a huge garment manufacturing industry there. So maybe this is where most of the stuff that we're making is coming from, LA. I don't know. Okay, and then this is just a bunch of members. Oh, okay, these are all the members of the Textile Caucus. Y'all let this die? Now these men have to lead us through to nationalistic textile production? Come on, Robert. Come on, Rule. Come on, Linda, do you care? Get it done. It's gonna take years, but get it done. I wonder if there's like a video on this or something, because I'm kind of curious to listen or watch something instead of just reading articles. Because I'm just a girl. Let's see. Textile Caucus. Is there anything here? YouTube, do something. Give me something. Oh my gosh, is this my video? The first thing that came up is my video. Nice, I guess. Okay. Oh no. I wanted to learn about the Textile Caucus. There's nothing. Ugh. What a disappointment. No. I mean, there's a So Fashion Caucus, but this one's a Textile Caucus. It's different. Boring. I didn't see anything. I wonder if there's like anything else in the news. Sorry, I keep on pulling up Google. It's like a bad habit. I just want to watch the news on this. I guess that's why I'm here, huh? See, it's just a bunch of boring articles. I feel like a grandma. Like, what is this? Okay, so I'm gonna close out of these tabs. I didn't find anything. Well, I wish you the best, Mr. This. I don't know how to say that. Okay, so to move on, basically there is a lot of rising concern over the influx of something called mitumba, and the video will explain what that is.
I'm thirsty. Yeah, give me some water. Bro, give me some water.
That's a commercial. This is a commercial. I don't support this brand. Okay.
Industry stakeholders. All right, the fashion industry stakeholders are raising concerns over the growing influx of second-hand clothes from abroad, often referred to as mitumba. They note that these garments frequently end up as waste, contributing to environmental damage and undermining local economies. In response, they are shifting their focus toward locally made, sustainable fashion. Their goal is to reduce dependence on imported fast fashion and promote eco-friendly alternatives. During the Mawimbi Fashion Weekend, fashion enthusiasts urged Kenyans to support high-quality, locally produced fashion as a way to protect the environment and stimulate the local economy.
We also have some of the Western brands bringing their clothes here in Africa in the name of recycling or bringing them here in Africa, but they end up being dumped at the end of the day. So we want to celebrate African designers, promote African designers so that we can have our homemade clothes, wear our own clothes, and prevent the pollution that is happening by grabbing onto the fast fashion that is mostly coming from other markets in the globe.
Get into it. I love this. The caption says that garments frequently end up in the waste, contributing to the environmental damage and undermining local economies. So we need to support Kenyans' high-quality, locally produced fashion as a way to protect the environment and stimulate the local economy. Love this. I wonder if there's more videos on this. Nope. I love this though. So yeah, I do think that we need to invest in local economies versus dumping fast fashion into their economy. So this is just an important reminder that there's so much beauty in different countries. So much beauty. And then Shein just does not stop to be annoying. They just continue to be annoying. They just continue to do random stuff that is like a lie. So basically Shein is supposedly partnering with transfer chemicals to have eco-conscious dyeing and finishing. I mean, they're flooding countries with their waste, but it's a solution, I guess, right? I don't really think so, but we shall see what their scheming is. So Sourcing Journal is such a great place to know what's happening in the fashion industry, but you do need a membership to pay. So let me see if I can find this somewhere else online, like a similar article. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's Shein's official PR release. So they're going to basically foster research and textile innovation is what they say. So this collaboration will focus on advancing textile dyeing and finishing technologies, basically transfer chemicals. The org that they're working with is a leader in functional chemistry and new materials technology, and they're going to look into how they can commercialize the application of scientific advancements of textile production and dyeing processes. I don't know what the heck I just read, but basically the initiative will focus on 3 key areas. It will be the digitalization of dyeing and textile finishing processes to reduce energy consumption, water usage, and carbon emissions. The third key area, or the second key area, is the development of new functional fabrics and garments that meet the needs of modern consumers. So examples will be functional fabrics that include stretch fabric and water repellent material. And the third key area is going to be the development of testing methods for new textile materials Did they just say new textile materials? We don't need more stuff, people. New garment products or processes to help ensure consistency and testing for safety, quality, and performance. We don't need more stuff though. Basically, the partnership, it said, will help SHEIN leverage its digitalized supply chain platform to monitor demand for premium fabrics and new production technologies. Meanwhile, Transfer Chemicals will draw its expertise in functional chemistry to support the promotion and development of innovative processes, materials, and textile production and dyeing methods that are aimed for reducing water, energy, and waste. So it seems like it's just a slightly better version of what they're doing now, but I think it's in SHEIN's benefit to, you know, use less water, use less energy, use less, like create less waste and be more efficient for the sake of profit, not the sake of the environment. Like ideally, any business should be like efficient to reduce unnecessary costs so they can make more money, you know? So, and I'm not that excited about this, but SHEIN is also doing this to meet the industry's demand for premium, high-quality textiles, and also ensure that it has the capabilities to stay at the forefront of industry trends. Yeah, they're just gonna keep making fast fashion. How are they really gonna make high-quality textiles with like the changes in textile dye? Like, I don't think textile dye is just gonna make a huge difference, is it? I don't think so. I feel like this is misleading me. It's misleading us, guys. And then it's going to use polyester recycling and waterless printing in its operational processes. Okay. And actually it ends up by saying, hey guys, we're actually good people because earlier this year, we announced the development of an innovative polyester recycling process in partnership with a university, and this process will allow us to recycle lots of materials and prevent textile waste, and it can actually improve cost efficiency. They're always thinking about money, huh? It literally says here. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Cost efficiency compared to recycled polyester options currently used in SHEIN products. They're literally just trying to reduce costs. What's my hair doing? My hair's so frizzy. It's kind of bothering me. Okay, so I'm just gonna move on. SHEIN, do better. Just do better. They're just trying to save some money. Okay, so good news is that there's more sustainable fashion designers emerging, and one of those is her. She is a St. John's designer, and she's fighting fast fashion one dress at a time. I wonder... Oh my gosh, this huge ad right here. Google, come on, stop. So this is Shrita Mohan, and she says that she grew up loving fashion, but it took the COVID-19 pandemic to inspire her to launch Soonology. So she is a fashion company founder, and she's fighting fast fashion through sustainability. And Soonology is basically a made-to-order clothing company, and she started it 4 years ago while living in India and has since relocated to St. John's. It's in Canada. St. John's, Canada. And basically she explained to this radio show that every dress tells a story because every dress is made to the body type and the body preference of our customers. So she basically has made her business be custom ordered clothing, which is an ethical decision, pointing that the fashion industry has sustainable and ethical problems, which is known as fast fashion. Companies overproduce items, which creates pollution and depletes water resources. Shein items, or wait, what? It says shein items those companies don't sell end up in landfills. I think this article was saying she hopes that what she sells doesn't end up in the landfill. And she explains that she doesn't use chemicals to dye her fabric, and every dress is made specifically for a customer and she's not mass producing them. And the pre-designed dress is typically from $70 to $80, which is kind of affordable, not gonna lie. Kind of like that. So how it's made. So when working on a new piece of clothing, she starts with selecting the fabrics, which are handcrafted. And then from there, with the client's measurements, it gets stitched together. She was actually a stitcher and embroiderer based in India who has... Oh wait, what? She's a stitcher and embroiderer based in India who she calls her two pillars. Okay. She further explains, I would say that I've been a one-man army because when I started, I used to handle everything myself. The marketing, the production, designing, everything. Oh, her bag, it's so cute. Wait, is this like a YouTube video or something? Why am I reading this article if it's a video? Wait, is she on the news or something? Wait, what if I Google her? What will come up? I'm a fan of watching the video, not reading the article. Seems like it's a common name in India. No. Gosh. Nope. Okay. So where were we? Down here. So in 2021, Mohan was living in India and she was working in a robotics process automation developer for Ernst & Young, though she's always loved fashion. I have always liked my style. I've always liked to style myself and customize my own dresses. I also used to give fashion advice to my friends and family. She says there's also times when she would go shopping only to be disappointed with apparel that she would find and wonder why it wasn't available with a certain type of sleeve, neck design, or dress length. And then this is how I started thinking, oh hey, I should start my own clothing brand. So I started off my own research for a year or so. In 2022, Mohan went to the Newfoundland and Labrador. Is that a school? Newfoundland and Labrador. Why would they call a school that? Okay. Where she pursued a 2-year master's degree in business administration at Memorial University. Oh wait, this is a place. Newfoundland and Labrador is a place, and she went to the new what? I'm getting confused. She went to Memorial University. She got a master's. Okay. I'm so confused. Wait, what? She got a master's degree in business administration, and that's how she brought Sonology with her. And she went because she's always wanted to learn about business strategies and marketing to help my clothing brand. And now Sonology is a side job for Mohan. She works at Suncor Energy, but she's open to the possibility that it becomes her full-time gig. Once I get a great reach, I would consider that. Oh, cute. She seems passionate and she's still focused on her 9 to 5. So good on her for keeping the dream alive. That's super cool. So to move on, there's actually a high school called Shelley High School where students actually made a sustainable fashion show, which I love to see. I always love to see this. It makes me so happy. And the article showcases that it's no secret that rural Idaho isn't the fashion capital of the West Coast. Historically, the world isn't influenced by trends, patterns, or new ideas coming from local areas. Wait, what was that sentence? Historically, the world isn't influenced by trends, patterns, or new ideas coming from local areas. However, that doesn't mean that there isn't room for style. So Isaac and Logan, seniors at Shelley High School, hosted, oh my god, they were boys, hosted a sustainable fashion show for their senior projects last week. Basically, one of them says, we're showing that you can still get dressed looking good and how you want to on a budget. The pair used already purchased clothes to create personalized outfits for their models, demonstrating that it doesn't matter how much money someone has or their wardrobe size, there is always a way to stun. This is so cute. We styles everything based off of their own clothes, Based on their own clothing, we try to make everybody look like they were sporting a different vibe. There were several styles presented. Casual, business, date night were just a few of the things displayed. Oh, look at them too, fashion lovers, susty fashion kings. I would love to talk to them. That'd be so much fun. I want them on my podcast. So there was a small idea for a fashion show. They both liked the personal style and they just thought it was going to be an easy project. And then 3 months later, they made this easy project happen. And basically explained, I think it was worth the preparation. Things will obviously come down to the wire because they're teenage procrastinators. But I think it was definitely worth the time, they explained. Afterwards, okay, what? Okay, so they found models and then they came up with the clothing they would wear, and then we were thinking about the aesthetics. The models kind of gave input, but mostly it was them two that came up with all the styling ideas. Oh, this is so cute. They created 17 outfits, but only 11 appeared in the show. In the 4 days leading up to the event, 5 of their models canceled, leaving them feeling a bit stranded. Why would these models do that? They got cold feet or something? Yelling at people about something, even if they have control over it, won't get any more good from yelling at them, they say. Despite the last-minute changes, he and Hackman were able to pull everything together and still manage to impress the audience with their hard work and talent. At the end of the show, they read off the purchase location and prices details of each item, showing that just because something looks good doesn't mean it has to break the bank. Utilizing local resources like thrift stores or even a friend's closet can save money, time, and resources. As full-time students, Hackman and Roche were proud of the work they put in and the results that sparked from it. Oh, that's so cute. That's so wholesome. I wonder if they have like a video or something. It seems like it's just like an informal little thing. Oh. Sustainable fashion. I don't see anything. They didn't call it anything either, so it must be just like a little informal thing they put together without really calling it anything. But they are in rural Idaho. Isaac and Logan. Interesting. Yeah, I don't see anything. Okay, so we're gonna move on, but that's super cool. So now to move into this, basically there's a TikToker that I've watched. Her name is I don't remember her name, but it's her right there. I do follow her. But she's faced a lot of criticism for her thoughts on how to participate in environmentalism and conscious consumerism and stuff like that. But she goes by Jade Sustainable Fashion, and she's a sustainable fashion educator that explores how it's kind of physically impossible to always be the perfect consumer.
Environmentalist movement is that all or nothing mindset. That mindset of, oh, you care about sustainability, yet you're posting from an iPhone. How interesting. You know, like inevitably, if you're an environmentalist, you get a comment on every video that's along those lines. The entire idea that the only reason people participate in environmentalism is because of a desire to be the perfect consumer or because they want to be like better than everyone else is a dangerous assumption and frankly very telling on the behalf of the person doing the assuming. It's a very elementary school assessment of environmentalism, and the fact of the matter is it is next to impossible to be a perfect consumer. That's not the point of sustainability. It's not about being perfect, it's about making better choices. While there isn't always a perfect choice, some choices are better than others. And you should be very wary of anyone making criticisms of the sustainability movement from the mindset of, well, you can never do anything perfectly, so why even try? It's a very disingenuous understanding of the entire issue. I'll never claim to be a perfect consumer, and neither should you. And neither should anyone else for that matter. Because that's not the point. And for those of you who like to post on sustainability type videos with, haha, but you're posting this from an iPhone, I am very smart. Yeah, and I plan to use this iPhone until it breaks and then buy refurbished. What have you done for the environment lately? Anything?
I am live streaming. That's what I'm doing for the environment. No, she has a good point. Like, no one can be perfect. It's kind of hard to be perfect in the midst of everything. But it's worth a fight. I feel like when people are like, yeah, I'm not gonna do anything because I can't do everything perfectly. That's kind of where we get into like the, I'm just gonna give up because nothing is like how I want it to be. Like, I think you're doing us more of a disservice if you don't do anything than something. Like, we should all be doing something to be better. Even in this messed up world that we're living in, every small action matters, okay? But it doesn't feel like it adds up at the end of the day. Yeah, I love her. You should definitely follow her. She goes by Jade Sustainable Fashion. And then the article continues to explain that the entire idea that the only reason people participate in environmentalism is because of a desire to be the perfect consumer or because they want to be better than everyone else is a dangerous assumption. It's not about being perfect, it's about making better choices. I fully agree with that. Like, we should all be making better decisions, better choices. It's not about being perfect. And I think it's just like easy to be like, oh, I give up. Like, why make sustainable purchases? Why invest my money in this, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, fixes can be small. Like, the article explains that you can try to refresh your wardrobe by like using fabric softener. You can you know, stop trying to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I still wear fast fashion. I still, you know, consume fossil fuel industry based products. Like, you can't really escape the system, but you can make small choices every day to not support, you know, fossil fuel backed companies and like things that are harmful for the environment. Another commenter couldn't help but relate to the video, noting the challenges when purchasing any product. This is a similar issue with attempting to be an ethical consumer in any capacity. Yeah, I agree. And then the article says, even with small changes, we can all make great strides in creating a brighter and cooler future. So yeah, I love this. If you don't know Cool Down, the Cool Down is such a great like online magazine. They talk about environmentalism. It's written by up and coming writers. So if you want to support a mag and want to learn about these topics, I would highly support the Cool Down. A free plug, you can say, but they do great work, and I always showcase their articles on my live streams. I don't really follow them on social media. Yeah, I don't, but it's relatable content and it keeps you updated. See? Damn beavers complete stalled government project for free. What? That's cute. Nice. I'll give them a follow. Okay, so to move on with the news, there's so many tabs open. So to move on with the news, there's actually a runway show that was close to where I live that I completely missed, but basically it upcycled secondhand clothing and it was featured on this news site, and I want us to watch it. It's such a great effort in showcasing upcycled clothing on a local basis. I will load eventually. Load.
Welcome to the future of connectivity with Xfinity Communities, where residents can enjoy fast, reliable gig speed internet on a game-changing network. Connected today, powered for the future.
No, thank you.
The shared vision of environmental sustainability, Women's Space and Tadmore Tailoring in Rockford team up to put an environmental twist on a typical fashion show today at Rockford University. The Restyle the Runway show features restyled and upcycled secondhand clothing. The event had a presentation, and discussion on the health impacts of clothes that end up in landfills. Tadmore Tailoring offers alterations on clothes to stop the negative effects of fast fashion, which is wearing clothes a couple of times and then throwing them out.
It is not necessary to buy new off the rack in order to make a fashion statement. What we are really promoting is that people be aware of the choices that they make and how they impact the environment.
Enerpac ultra-flat hydraulic cylinders have a high capacity and are incredibly durable with a wide...
Okay, that was super cool. And this is how it worked. So they had the doors open at 11 and they hosted it on a university campus. And then at 11:30, they had like an invocation speech, lunch was served. 11:50, they had a sustainability presentation by some lady. Then they had the fashion show at 12:30, and then there was like a raffle drawing. But yeah, that's kind of wholesome. It's very very wholesome, very wholesome. I wish I had made a whole video on the entire fashion show, but I guess the journalist was on a time crunch or something. But it's really cool to see this emerging everywhere. There's people doing a lot of stuff in every single little corner of the nation and the globe, and it's just a matter of finding it and uplifting it and not, you know, falling into the doom and gloom of everyday conversations about environmentalism, about fashion, about social issues. Like, there's a lot of people that care, and we only just hear like things from a national level or from like a federal level or a big level, and oftentimes they're like stalling or don't really care, or they're like, you know, tied down to profit or tied down by their own interests or something. Who knows what is in their brain, the little pea brain, the legislative brain. Anyways, but I think everyday people are actually really invested in like helping each other. They're really wanting to show up for each other, do fun things while still doing good. And these are all examples of like really committed people getting creative, spreading education, and pushing the needle forward. It's just they don't really make videos about it. Unless a news site picks it up, like we don't get to hear about it. But another cool thing that happened is that there is more of a vision for ethical fashion in Africa. So I saw this news piece about the rise of Afro Wima and its vision for ethical fashion and environmental impact.
Tatiana from Afro Wima. We're here in Kibera and welcome to Mitindo. So my name is Tatiana. I'm from Portugal. I'm a biologist and dance teacher. And what made me start Afro Wima was the support I wanted to give to the artisan community of Kibera, trying to empower them and create new job opportunities in a sustainable way. When I created the brand, I wanted to call it just Wema, which was not possible. So Wema means care in Swahili, and it's care from and to Africa. We are unique, sustainable, and caring. The goal in the beginning was to empower my tailor, Tabitha. She's still working with us. And you cannot create a brand with only just one tailor, so she brought more friends, colleagues. Then I met Sophie through another tailor, and that's how we've been growing in a very organic way. Fabrics are sourced locally in small shops. where everyone can get them as well. We also upcycle denim that I buy secondhand markets or that are part of collaborations with other organizations. For example, for the last fashion show, Nairobi Fashion Week, all the denims or majority of the denims that we used were coming from dumping sites. And it also depends. Whenever I'm traveling to an African country, I always buy local materials, and then we create small collections out of those materials. Afro-Emma doesn't have a workshop or a factory. I work with many artisans, not only tailors, beaders and jewelers, and each artisan has its own workshop. So we have a very different business model, which also gives them some freedom to keep other clients that they have. Basically, we do some trials when we have a new artisan, and then we see if the quality standards that they have, they fit our requirements. Basically, all our collections, they have kitenge. That's how we want to keep the African heritage in our pieces. Or, for example, the reused brass jewelry, we use African motifs as well. And so we have the brand new material that we try to keep it sustainable by using that stock materials for lining, or old pieces like used pieces like bed sheets, for example. Or we use second-hand material like the denims or offcuts from other brands, and that's how we create some of our collaborations, for example, with Tosheka Textile. So with Tosheka Textiles, we're using their offcuts to create new designs, new pieces from, for example, tablecloth. They can just become a kimono, for example. So our motto is to save the planet with style. So nowadays you have enough clothes in the world that you can dress 6 generations. So for us, it makes no sense to produce new clothes exclusively with new materials. So that's why we try to upcycle a lot. And you have such amazing pieces already available in the market, and pre-loved ones, as I like to call them. So you can give them a second chance and finding someone that will keep loving them. So we're not only promoting upcycling or handmade, but also mending, repairing what you already have. We also promote workshops of mending, repairing, upcycling, reusing. We also collaborate with swap circles, so you can just exchange your clothes with someone else. So what you're no longer wearing can be a new item for another person. So we started our high fashion journey last year with Tribal Chic. Actually, we were in the first edition of Eco Fashion Week Kenya. So we produced a capsule collection in a collaboration with a brand from Uganda. So we were using their lining, eco-printed cotton lining, as completely new material for us, and mixing it with denim. So that was our first fashion experience. From there we had Tribal Chic 2024. We were at the Core Fashion installation. We were the only African brand invited to showcase at Global Fashion Festival in India, Delhi. It was September last year. We did Eco Fashion Week last year also, and we were selected to go to Australia for Eco Fashion Week in Australia, but unfortunately we couldn't make it. And this year we already did Nairobi Fashion Week and Tribal Chic. So for each collection, I always invite a fashion student. We have a strong collaboration with the Delight Fashion School here in Kenya. And I always try to bring on board the fashion students. And the collection, it's not by Tatiana, it's by Tatiana and, for example, Maria. Maria Zero was the last student to be invited. She was part of Nairobi Fashion Week. I try as much as possible to collaborate with people, with organizations, because I think when we come together, we're stronger and we go further. So it's a combined effort from everyone. I think there's a big connection, not only for the creative part of dance and fashion, but also the colorful things that you can see, and it's the mixture of circles and squares and stripes and yellow and green that you don't see that much in Portugal. In Portugal, people are still very conservative when it comes to fashion and colors and wearing edgy clothes, I would say. So whenever I go back home and people see me wearing kitenge, it's like, oh my God, that's so cool. Where did you get it? I said, I have a fashion brand. You can also buy it. And I'm like, oh, maybe it does not look good on me, you know. So I think my scientific mind also, it helps me a lot when it comes to fashion, because in fashion you also need to be very accurate. So there's a science also behind fashion. People are very, very much interested nowadays in the sustainable fashion, and when you're very transparent all through your value chain, where you source your materials, the way you work, the way you're putting it out there. We don't use plastic at all, so our bags are also handmade. We don't do our buttons, for example, are made of coconut, are made of wood. And we try to use it. We're a waste-free brand, so all the remains we use it for other things. So even it's now for the kids, for the sustainable fashion for kids program. People are becoming more conscious about the textile pollution, the problem of the fashion industry being the second most polluted industry in the world. So we have more clients looking for unique pieces that they know they are ethically made as well. So our group, our community is growing, especially with the Gen Z. So I think they're very much informed about what's going on, and they also want to be unique. So they're really open. So our concept is affordable luxury pieces. So you don't need to be a millionaire to buy an Afro Emma piece. It's just our pieces cannot be compared with the price point of fast fashion because the way they're made. So fair wages is one of our concerns, and for that you need obviously to increase a bit the price of what you can buy from a fast fashion brand. Yeah.
That's a super cool brand. I think we need more brands just uplifting each other in sense of paying each other a fair wage, doing things ethically. You know, having green collections, recycling their textile waste so they can create more and more stuff. One of the things that she said is that she was invited to go to the eco fashion show in Australia, and I've never heard of that. I wonder if there's a YouTube. Yeah, there is an eco fashion week. That's so cool. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was a thing.
Designer number 1 is Maru. Welcome to the fashion show. We are 6 mass art fashion designers showcasing sustainability and fashion. We each have different ideas, and I'm sure you will take home some ideas which you can follow in your life. So one of the big reasons for any harm to nature is overconsumption. And this piece right over here is stating that. We do so much shopping, right? We have so many boxes at home, we are overburdened, and all the aqua, the fauna, the flora, it's all off balance. Just shopping, shopping, shopping. On an average, do you know how much an American throws away clothing? It's 81.5 pounds of clothing each year. That's too much clothes going into landfill. Do we really need that? Do we really need to overconsume? I don't think so, right? What we should do when we do shop is just look at what's on the box, right? Buy less, choose wisely.
You want to support sustainable fashion? Just look at the box. Just look at the box, guys. I like how she's like straightforward and like, guys, look at the box.
And make things last. That's what my favorite designer Vivienne Westwood said, and I hope you all can follow. So one of the aspects I'm showcasing today is, if we remove the burden of overconsumption, what comes? We can make good choices. We can choose clothing made from natural fabric like cotton, silk. we can definitely, as I said, buy less. And when you hear cotton, nowadays there's a lot of things we hear. Cotton needs so much water, cotton needs, maybe cotton is not a great choice, but no. Cotton, the current one, needs a lot of water, needs a lot of pesticide. But the indigenous cotton, okay, the cotton which is naturally colored, that is rain-fed, that does not need pesticides, and it grows naturally brown. The clothing my model Shein is wearing is made from naturally colored brown cotton. This has been hand spun and this has been hand woven into this beautiful fabric. It's rare, and because it's using less pesticide, like no pesticide I should say, it's very skin friendly. And the way the garment has been designed, it's very size friendly. It can be worn by different sizes. So this is one aspect I'm showcasing here today. So when you buy any new piece of clothing, be responsible.
By the way, I love this sort of fashion show because you're literally hearing the story of the item based on the beginning context of like fast fashion, and then the designer's literally running you through how it was made, where it was coming from, you know, the technique it was created from, and just like the benefits of the clothing. Like, it's a whole learning experience. It's not just about aesthetics anymore. Like, you cannot ignore the designer, her intention, her care for the design, because she's literally right there explaining it to you. And I love this. I prefer this over just like a random model walking down the runway and just looking at the clothing with no context. So I think this combines aesthetics and ethics and learning all in such a great way. I love this.
Responsible. Think a little bit. Why are you buying this? When you buy this piece of clothing, how is it affecting? Is it affecting everyone in a good way, right from the fiber to the garment stage? This garment has been made with a fabric which has helped everyone through the chain. And I hope that's what you learned today from this garment. Thank you, Shein. Now on to my second look. I have Stevie presenting this look. She's wearing a coat. And I realized when I moved from India to New England that there's something common. None of us like the red coats, right? So I thought, let me play a little bit on that. And I have this coat made from brown cotton. It has indigo and another natural dye giving those stripes. And it has pockets, right? Everyone needs pockets, right? And then I have paired it with denim, because what's the most American fabric than denim, right? So I have a denim and brown cotton coat being showcased by Stevie right over here. And the buttons are representing jeans. So another example of brown cotton. And on the mannequin over there on the left, do make sure to see the garment is made from denim and brown cotton. And it's a zero-waste design. And that's something another designer will definitely mention and you will learn. So thank you so much for being here. And I must say I'm very thrilled to be here, because talking about sustainability and fashion at this special venue is just so amazing. It's something I can talk and talk forever. And I'm very grateful to have such a wicked smart audience right over here who I know is going to make great choices and save and be responsible and help our nature. Thank you so much. Namaskaram. Namaskaram to all. Thank you.
Next designer is Ren Sison.
Hi, my name is Ren Sison. My pronouns are they, them.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed. I want to do this sort of fashion show in the future. I need this to happen in Chicago. Oh my gosh, they have a globe. I just noticed. This is so cool.
And as of today, I'm a Mass Art Fashion Design Certificate Program graduate, so thank you. It's very exciting. My goal as a designer is to find the intersectionality between sustainability, our personal experiences, and identity. So my first look is an upcycled garment, several garments. The jacket, the skirt garment, and the bag are all made from 4 deconstructed pairs of jeans. Every bit of it was used in this outfit. So any thread, any scraps, leftovers were used as padding for inside of the bag, so that if you were carrying a laptop or something valuable, it's padded and protected. Much of the upcycling that I do is taking the original pattern pieces and trying to find new ways to drape them or shape them on the body. And I focus a lot on being able to have multiple bodies wear different kinds of garments. As a non-binary person, it's very important for me to provide for the community and find new ways to show non-gender biased clothing. So a lot of the garments will be tie-on or have multiple ways to go on the body. And I want to give people the opportunity to not just think about gender-neutral fashion as being androgynous, but something that we can be stylish and put our own personal twist on it. For my second look, I wanted to show a different side of zero-waste fashion. This is a completely zero-waste gown. All of it was used on this gown, whether it was detailing, whether it was support in the garment. I used a technique called shadow folding, which is inspired by architecture and origami. And it's taking basic geometric shapes and turning them into three-dimensional shapes on the body. And with this garment, I was inspired by a lot of Asian cultures. Most of my designs are inspired actually by Filipino indigenous designs. My family, half of them are from the Philippines, and so I try to bring my own culture, my personal history into my designs as well.
The next designer is Vicky Marino.
Hi, good night. My name is Vicky. I'm an emerging fashion designer. I love upcycling. I like to give a second life to all the things I got. So I upcycle from furniture, clothes, even food. So I really like to call this technique I like to reduce the waste.
I want to know how to recycle food too. Does she mean like nothing is thrown away? You know what I was thinking? Maybe I should start dumpster diving to see what I can find in my local area. That'd be super fun. Anyways. Also, it's on 2x speed just because they kind of talk slow. And it's a 20-minute video.
Use the waste. I think it's a vital solution for the future of this industry. And I reuse a lot of men's shirts for making this mini collection. Using limited materials that I found is something that I found a bit challenging. So I like to find like a surprise what I have in front of me. And for the second look, I combine jeans, men's t-shirt, and a men's shirt.
Hello, my name is Asha Kepka. This is my fashion debut. I'm very excited about this. 30 years ago, I was working a runway as a Ford model. So hold on a second, I'm gonna work again. No. So this is actually harder than being a model. My fashion career started fairly recently, and it's sort of culmination of my journey as a photographer, set designer, ultimate recycler. This collection wouldn't be possible without my community of Arlington and my friends and family. When I heard that it takes about 1,800 gallons to produce one pair of jeans, I knew that this is a perfect project to focus on and trying to recycle really great textile that's still, in my opinion, has lots of time after it's worn. So I put out an ad on Everything's Free, and I got countless of pairs of jeans. So I started sewing it, and my goal was to create garments that are very comfortable but very dynamic and sculptural. I'm inspired by nature, as you can see. So I was looking to create something that's very dramatic and versatile. In this case, I wanted to create armor that could be taken off and asymmetrical. And so all of the jeans that I had, I kind of fillet like a fish or chicken.
Honestly, for her debut as a fashion designer, this is a really well-crafted piece. This is really beautiful.
And trying to save every single piece of the jeans. So you can see that the ties that I use for adjusting the size, very easy to, for any size of a person. I have to mention my friend Anne Wichmann, who's my Bjork, he's my inspiration when I was creating this collection. She is the incredible musician, very versatile and eclectic. And when I was making this garment, I actually was thinking about her because she performs all over Europe, all over the world. And when I was making this garment, I was thinking how would Anne look when she's rocking out? So Aqua is doing a great job because you can, walk it. So yeah, I like the idea of the armor, the sleeves. And here's the second garment, Walking, by Stevie. This garment was product of the class I was taking with Fabulous Jen. I was taking couture class and I challenged myself. With the idea of sustainability, I decided not to buy any clothes, any fabrics for this class and only use the old worn jeans. So this was quite time consuming.
Wait, look at the hat. I'm just gonna say I'm so in love with how they set up this fashion show, how we're literally learning so much about the designer's journey, intention, how she's grappled with different techniques, and also taking the model into account, and then the just sheer creativity of everything and the uniqueness of the pieces. It's chef's kiss. The hat, I love the hat. You can tell that she's very creative and talented. And this is her first fashion show debut. This is her first thing ever. It's so beautiful.
I'm consuming, cutting the pieces, trying to figure out, the style lines. And of course, the look wouldn't be final without a hat, which actually has pockets inside of it.
No way.
So again,
just grab a
you can put your phone, your wallet, your credit cards, and your selfies. Exactly. Because the girl has to look great, but be comfortable, ready to, go on a journey. And I decided to use some of my leftover colorful fabrics because I love color as lining. So whenever the garment moves, you can see little peaks of color. On a side note, this is, the recycling denim is very fascinating, but I also have been completely immersed with natural dyeing, trying to achieve, interesting designs using just a simple materials secondhand stores are full of white sheets, beautiful actually quality sheets. And I was searching for some and came upon some really lovely ones that I then later cut and dyed in very complicated processes sometimes, and produced a coat like the one I'm wearing, or like the one that's actually on display. In this case, I was kind of going after the feeling of the tree. I'm very inspired by the trees. The trunks are just so incredibly expressive, So on top of the mannequin, you can see a little fascinator that actually has oak galls, black walnuts. These are the products that I actually use for my natural dyeing. So this fascinator today I'm wearing is in honor of the birds that actually took flight in my garden. I had a robin's nest and cardinal's nest, and robin's eggs were blue, so I decided to make a little fascinator to honor nature. Yay, nature. All right, well, that's it. Enjoy it. Ta-da.
I love it.
The next designer is Maya Hu Bialek.
Hello, everybody. I'm a Taiwanese-American artist, and I love to design based on my Chinese history roots and Western clothing. So everything you're going to see today is made from upcycled duvet covers. I went onto Facebook Marketplace, or actually I went to the Buy Nothing Facebook page, and somebody was giving away their ripped duvet covers, so I took them. So both of my garments, the other one's going to be coming down now, they're fully adjustable, so people's bodies change due to weight gain, due to menstrual cycles, due to pregnancy, due to just anything. People's bodies change as you go through life. So I wanted to make clothing that lasts throughout the changes of your life and also can be handed on to other people and you can still wear it. So both of these pieces actually have the same skirt on the bottom, but one is tied up in more ways than the other one. There's many loops so you can tie the tiered skirt, and the tops, both of them, have about at least 10 inches of adjustability. So that really shows you, obviously that doesn't include everybody, but that really like makes it so many more people can wear it than just a one size. So yeah, thank you for coming tonight, you guys.
The final designer is Lizzie Williams.
Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? I'm so glad you all came. I love to make streetwear.
No one clapped. Okay.
I want you to feel like there's clothes you can wear that are sustainable, you can see yourself in every day. I used a pair of pants and upcycled them into this hoodie tank top, or the babushka tank top, if you will. And then these overalls are made of dead stock canvas. For this menswear look, I wanted to bring my love of hip hop, meet my love of plants. He's wearing all upcycled, all dead stock. He's wearing dead stock canvas and rayon top. I collaborated with a tattoo artist out of Montreal, Carl, who's got tattoos embroidered onto his handkerchiefs.
Wow, I'm so impressed by every single designer. There was a lot of Americans. There was some American accents in there for some reason. But here's all the designers. Prashi Marukar. Then it was Ren Cizone. Then it was Vicky S. Marino. Asia Quebeca. Maya Bialik. And then Lizzie Williams. That's so cool. I love this. I didn't know this existed. Ah. I also came across another fashion show where it was basically like a greens fashion show. It's so much fun. Look at it. So basically, in a little village in China, to celebrate International Women's Day, they literally had a fashion show called Greens Fashion Show, and it's literally greens on a woman. Oh. And it was like discarded vegetable scraps as well. I just needed to talk about that. Like, there's nothing else in this article except this photo. But I found it cute. Like, I actually want to do this as a YouTube video or like a TikTok or something. Like, this is iconic. I wonder if there's like a video or something. Maybe this is a TikTok. It's such a lucrative little article, and it gives you no details of who did this. I would keep putting in Google. Okay, it says, let me see if I can find anything. The Green Fashion Show. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Oh. This is so cute. This is so wholesome. No, again and again. I'm gonna get copyright striked. Oh. We need to do this. I wonder where the idea came from. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. The single comment. Love it. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. I'm probably gonna head out soon, but basically there's more news. So there's actually this group that is making a sustainable fashion magazine happen. It's a sustainable fashion magazine from students at the University of, I think it's called Gulf. And the magazine's called Monarch Magazine. And this is like some photos they've taken for the magazine to showcase student fashion. Now this is the magazine. This was their first issue. That's an advertisement. And that's the founder and editor-in-chief of Monarch Butterfly, or Monarch Magazine, I mean. Another photo. But basically, The article explains how sustainable fashion is what one local editor-in-chief is trying to advocate for her peers, so she started her own magazine. When flipping through Monarch magazine, every outfit is secondhand, thrifted, vintage, or from models' closets. Monarch's founder and editor-in-chief, Matasia Bubas. One rule is that no item of clothing is bought new for a photo shoot, which is super cool. This is the second issue. I love this personally. This is so cool. The photographer really does have an eye for fashion and for the students and for sustainable fashion. And basically the magazine was born out of the University of Gulf with its first issue in November. Bubas is a third-year studio art student with a focus on photography and painting. Maybe she's the one that's taking the photography. Then she transferred in her second year, but noticed it didn't have a fashion magazine like other universities. She saw how prevalent art and culture was in the city, and it surprised her that it wasn't reflected in the university. Then she created a club, and through its affiliation, she hoped it would gain some traction on campus. There are now 45 people spread through the magazine editorial, marketing, photography, creative events, and graphic design team. That's a lot of people. 45 people is a lot. But Bubas said the magazine hasn't received any funding from the university, and to launch the first issue, it used money from the magazine pre-orders to get it printed. That's actually really creative and smart. She's a susty queen. And then she says the plan is for an issue to be released each fall and winter semester. For her career, Bubas wants to write for fashion magazines. When she was younger, she used to experiment with clothing, and when she started thrifting, her interest in fashion grew. Her mom's copy of a book celebrating 50 years of Vogue sits on her nightstand, and it still inspires her. And she wants to bring her passion for sustainable fashion and the high fashion scene. And then she stopped buying new clothing over a year ago. I totally swore off of it, and it's something that I felt a lot of personal conviction towards, just because, especially with being in fashion, I felt there was a really big responsibility placed on the people that have influence in fashion to create responsibly, to consume responsibly, she explained. And so I think that's definitely how I explored in my own way, which is getting very creative with things that I can find rather than online shopping or going to a mall per se. And then she explains that thrifting is promoted throughout the magazine. Bubas has seen a decline in fast fashion and buying based on trends from people her age in the last couple of years. And she says, and I think that by turning thrifting into the cool thing and into the trend, it has definitely made it more appealing to students especially. Plans are in the works for a website and a podcast. Ooh, a podcast. The issues won't be published on the website because she feels it's easier to engage with material with a physical copy, but there will be an online order system so magazines can be delivered. And then they had a vintage night market on Sunday, March 9th. Oh, I wasn't there. And they had just a fun time, and she wants Monarch to have a presence outside the magazine to gather readers and create community. Oh, that's so cool. I want her on my podcast. I want to talk to her too. She's so cool. Like, the magazine looks really nice. It looks really, really nice. I wonder... No, it doesn't. There's no online copy. It's just all physical copies, which is such a shame. Hello, Marissa. I just saw your comment. It was covered by the laptop, but nice to see you. But yeah, I wish there was a digital magazine. I want to order it, but where is the University of Gulf? Is that like in... Where is it at? I have no idea. Gonna say Finland. Oh, I keep pulling up Google. Google's got me entrenched in their system. Okay, it's in Canada. Oh, nice. Canada for the win. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. I wonder if she has a social media. Should we stalk her? Let's stalk her before we head on off, but I'm probably gonna jump off soon, even though there's a lot going on in the world. The United States is a disaster ground. I ain't touching it. I mean, it's burning by itself, so that's that. Okay, her name is Matiha Bubas. Matiha Bubas. I wonder if I'm saying her last name right. Not indeed. I don't want another job. Okay. La la la. La 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 la. Is this her? Matiha. Oh yeah, it's her. Nice. Oh wait, they have an Instagram. Beautiful. I love the logo. That's super creative. Oh, nice. I want the online version. I would read the magazine if it was an online version. Super cute. I love this. Oh, they're so cute. We're talking about donuts. They were talking about getting donuts. Oh, that's so cute. They're so wholesome. Oh. I love the branding. I'm a fan. This is really cool. Alrighty. If you want to support them, they're at Monarch Magazine at Golf. Guelph. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so one interesting thing that I've noticed is that Uber is getting into the sustainable fashion scene with the help of Nuuly. So they're actually partnering up to make clothing rentals easier for students, which is not good news in my eyes. I feel like Uber is money, and Nuuly is like corporate America of sustainability in my eyes. But basically, this was a article written by Women's Wear Daily, and it says Uber is back with another fashion partnership, and this time bringing extra benefit to its Uber One for students users with Nuuly. Similar to Uber's role in transportation, Nuuly, the clothing rental subscription service from Urban Outfitters, it's owned by a fast fashion brand, has reframed the rental game. Trying not to choke on my words right here. I don't want to be mean. But basically, the article continues to say that subscribers pay $98 to rent 6 items per month, with shipping, cleaning, and repairs included. Items are shipped in a recycled, reusable Nuuly bag. The Uber One for Students membership is priced at $4.99 per month, with benefits including earned credit and free delivery on eligible Uber Eats orders. So, notably, Uber is no stranger to partnerships within the fashion and beauty space. In 2021, they actually partnered with Estee Lauder to create the first beauty partnership, which followed Uber's partnership with Marc Jacobs in 2016. And also in 2016, Lyst, Lyst, tapped into Uber to deliver gift bags during New York Fashion Week. So it seems like Uber is like familiar working with fashion brands. So now Uber is partnering with Nuuly through its Uber One for Students to basically appeal to young, budget-conscious, and sustainability-conscious consumers. With this in mind, Georgie Jeffrey, which is the head of marketing at Uber, told WWD that Uber One for Students and Nuuly are the ultimate duo, making it easy for users to streamline rides, meals, and clothing rentals. With student-friendly benefits and prices, members save across all aspects of student life, from rides across campus to late-night city snacks and more. The Nuuly partnership is the perfect addition, helping students stay stylish without breaking the bank. Let me just remind y'all that Nuuly is owned by a fast fashion brand. Okay, so we're excited to offer Uber One for student members another benefit that we know they'll love and need, Jeffrey said. Uber One for Students already provides big savings on rides and eats, and now, oh my god, I'm reading a literal ad. But will now help students curate their wardrobe from their favorite brands. We know college life is full of special occasions, from game days and spring break vacations to friend group trips and graduation parties. Goddamn, okay. The man has risen up the Gen Z clientele. Okay, So the expansion is timed with spring break getaways. Students will be able to get a discount when they use Nuuly to shop for looks from brands on their rental subscription. The offering is the first outside of Eats and Rides for the program. In addition to receiving discounts on Nuuly purchases, members are encouraged to use the Uber courier services for an easier return process. Uber courier will pick up a student's Nuuly bag and deliver it to UPS. Nuuly is owned by a fast fashion brand. Just a reminder. So in practice, students will receive $20 off of any Nuuly purchased, which is owned by a fast fashion brand, by entering the code UberXNuuly, owned by a fast fashion brand, in the Uber app. Uber is also offering 50% off on members. First return, what? Uber is offering 50% off on members. First return with Uber Courier with the code blah, blah, blah. Nuuly is owned by a fast fashion brand. Okay? I'm not promoting this. This is the article. Jeffries told the magazine that its partnership with Nuuly is only the beginning for fun parks in store for Uber One for students members. Moment of silence for capitalizing on Gen Z's eco-anxiety. I really do want everyone who is going to end up using Nuuly to know that it's, you know, from a fast fashion brand. God, Nuuly has to go home and do something else. Nuuly, the brand, just don't, please. I don't really agree with this brand. It's all the money is going to basically Urban Outfitters, and I don't think we need that. Just use what you have in your closet, please, people. It's very cheap to just use what you have. You can wash it, you can love it, and if you need anything, just go to the thrift store. But that's just my opinion. I wish life was as simple as I laid it out right now. I know it's not, but should you? Okay, I pose this question: should you support a clothing rental company owned by a fast fashion brand that is partnering with Uber to make sustainable fashion supported by fast fashion more accessible? I don't know. Maybe I'm framing it based on my bias, but I mean, it is owned by a fast fashion brand. I'm just going to move on, keep repeating myself. I'm talking to the echo chambers right now. But basically, another cool initiative that a college student did is being featured by Notre Dame Prep, which is a Catholic and Marist community. But basically, this is a junior who is helping reduce landfill waste and find sustainable end-of-life purpose for uniforms and other logoed clothing merch. So I'm going to go down here. So I want to feature Madeline. So she's the one that's recycling fabric waste with her company called Textiles. So it explains that it's a women-owned Detroit-based company that operates out of the Focus Hope facility, which is a nonprofit organization providing education and training for underrepresented minorities and others. Oh wait, is this the wrong feature? There's two people being featured. Okay. Textiles is a Detroit-based textile recycling and secondary use company that's specializing in manufacturing eco-friendly textile products that can re-enter the circular economy at end of life. So yeah, that's a super cool initiative. The article's a bit confusing because they feature her more, but then there's the company and then there's her. And it's her company, so I don't know why they keep quoting the other girl. I'm not discriminating, I'm just confused. I want to hear from the founder. Blah, blah, blah. But basically, they're collecting clothing right now, and then they're trying to recycle it with this company. And then the clothing is converted into eco-friendly materials used in consumer products. And basically, the company just recycles the clothing. So that's super cool. The article is confusing because they feature someone that works for her, but they don't feature her. So I'm just gonna move on. It's kind of confusing. I wanted to hear from the founder, but I'm gonna move on to, let's see. Oh, okay. So there's a Venezuelan designer that's basically paving a way forward for the future of fashion with the recycled luxury pieces. So I thought his story was very interesting.
Art to me is the purest form of expression. If you create a feeling, you're gonna be remembered. As artists, there are no limits. You can create endless things. It's not enough to simply create art. The beauty of it, it's important, but then also how sustainable it is. My name is Guillermo Garcia. I'm a Venezuelan fashion designer, and I've created a new line of textiles entirely handmade using recycled glass. When you see one of our bags on the street or on the windows in any shop, you're gonna see the future. This is what we represent. The uniqueness comes from using a material that has never been used before, that respects the environment, that is only made from recycled materials, which in this case is glass. Our textiles allow us to create anything. Thanks to our very own techniques, we end up with a beautiful textile made of glass that has up to 30,000 pieces of microcrystals that form these beautiful movements and light shades. It's textile that behaves like leather, like silk, like cotton. It's more than beauty, it's responsible beauty. We want to be creators of change and showing to the people how creative we Venezuelans can be, what we can give to the industry. We started in 2017 as a clothing brand. We were invited to Fashion Week in Paris. I felt that everybody was doing the same materials. And I thought to myself, I want to stand out. What do I like the most? And I thought shiny things. I closed my eyes and I saw a handbag made of glass. Wow, I like that. I like how it looks. I like the way light goes through them. And I thought, how can I make it a reality? And this is where everything started. Guillermo Garcia is not about being different. It's about making the difference. And this is why we want to make the difference by supporting artists in Venezuela.
Actualmente tenemos la disciplina de danza clásica, danza contemporánea y danza tradicional. La visión de la institución es que estos bailarines egresen con un nivel medio donde posteriormente puedan desarrollarse en el mundo artístico de la danza a nivel profesional. Bueno, los desafíos que enfrentamos a nivel estructural pues tienen que ver con el, por ejemplo, mantenimiento de la infraestructura. Mantener unos pisos de madera es costoso.
We are supporting in what we can at the moment. The lighting, the walls, the floors, making the space as comfortable as possible for the artists to be able to be focusing on the art.
Para la comunidad en danza, contar con alguien como Guillermo, pues definitivamente es muy importante, ¿no? Siempre es bueno que la comunidad sienta que no solo lo que hacemos nos importa a nosotros y que un artista como él quiera darnos la mano y caminar juntos, pues es muy significativo.
We are producers of art. For us to be able to give this new face to the school, it's fulfilling. We want to work, so we're going to be able to help others. This is why we open doors to every single artisan or artist in any area that wants to explore their skills.
Bueno, trabajar en la marca ha modificado mi vida, mi ritmo de vida, porque estaba un poco sedentaria, ¿verdad? Y ahorita pues tengo ese ánimo. Yo vi los bolsos y yo los vi que brillaron por encima de las otras cosas, ¿no? Nuestro producto está hecho con mucho cariño, dedicación, detalle. horas de trabajo. Una satisfacción, esa es la palabra.
Creating something that is supporting the environment, something that is creating change, creating jobs, supporting artists in Venezuela is rewarding. Teamwork is important, is the key to grow. We are a team of 10 people. We have what it takes to go further, to create change, to be a movement that is going to be recognized anywhere in the world. At the moment, we don't have the resources to recycle the glass in Venezuela. It's a process that requires special machinery. So we work with an international provider. Our goal is to make Venezuela a producer of luxury in the international fashion market. We are in conversations with a few important department stores around Europe and Middle East. Being different is being able to learn, continue exploring what you feel can make positive impact. Never stop pursuing what you want, pursuing your dreams.
Interesting. I wonder how much one of those bags retails for. Ooh, Copenhagen, I don't know your news like that. Almost went for Google again. Let's see how much a bag goes for. I mean, it's a super great mission. I mean, you can feel the dedication. Seems like he hasn't slept in years. They have like huge underbags, but he's hustling. Okay, let's see. You can't buy it online. You can only. I think they're selling it locally. So sad. Beautiful pieces. I don't know how much they are. Crafting sustainable luxury through the timeless beauty of crystal looks. Nice. Seems like you can only buy it locally, which is just such a shame. But yeah, that's a cool designer doing something by recycling glass. And then to finish off, I think I'm gonna just talk about some news. So basically in the United States, there's been a lot of environmental setbacks based on our current president that believes in the national energy emergency. Not climate emergency, energy emergency. But I think he's realized he actually needs his workers. So they're gonna reinstate a bunch of environmental justice staff. I think there's some news on this, like some new newscasters talking about this. I do not feel like reading an article. Sorry. Don't want to read anymore. Just want to turn off my brain. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. No, there's no news. Bleh. Okay. Well, basically, is there an audio player? Oh, yes. Let's listen.
EPA reinstates dozens of environmental justice staff by EHN curators. Less than a month after sidelining its entire environmental justice workforce, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is bringing back dozens of employees amid pressure from the White House and legal obligations. Amudalat Ajasa reports for The Washington Post. In short, the EPA reinstated many of the 171 employees it had placed on leave from its Environmental Justice and Civil Rights Office, following new White House guidance. Some returning staff say their work was legally required, and that the agency likely reinstated them to comply with statutory obligations. Critics argue the initial cuts were reckless, with former EPA official Matthew Tejada saying reinstated employees play a key role in ensuring federal policy reaches affected communities. Key quote, These leaves were conducted indiscriminately and without any consideration of statutory requirements or of the effect the firings would have on Americans. Kyla Bennett, Director of Science Policy at Public Employees for Environmental Responsibility. Why this matters? While the reinstatement is a win for those fighting to keep environmental justice on the agenda, it also raises an uncomfortable question. If these roles were so essential that the EPA had to bring them back, why were they slashed in the first place? Read more. America, this is what environmental justice is, and what we all stand to lose.
You know why? Because Trump thinks we're in a national energy crisis. That's it. That's why. He hates climate. He hates the planet. Ooh. Okay, but to end off on a positive note, I just want to say I love axolotls. They're an endangered animal in Mexico because of invasive species. Just the pollution there is not good. I actually have an axolotl over there. Have some plushies on my bed somewhere. Huge fan of them. I think they're super resilient. They're super just cute. And they're fish that can walk. They got legs. They're just kind of weird. And I like that. I'm a bit weird. So it resonates. And they're Mexican. I'm Mexican. I have a little light up lamp here. I haven't charged it, but it's right over here. It's so cute. But they are going extinct. But there is a Mexico museum that's actually putting a spotlight on them. And I just want to finish off with a positive, cute note and learn a bit more about these very resilient Mexican fish that can walk. Got little legs. They're very cute. Very cutesies. And then after this, I'm going to head on out and pretend the United States is not burning to hell. Yes.
Revered by the Aztecs as a god, and there's something miraculous about the ajolote, an amphibian unique to Mexico. It can rejuvenate its arms, legs, even parts of its brain and heart. But that hasn't stopped it from almost disappearing from the wild. Now the country's Chapultepec Zoo in Mexico City has opened a new center to help save it.
40 years ago, all the children in Mexico City had an axolotl in our home, in an aquarium, and we could buy it in any aquarium. It was all over. Nowadays, it's just so difficult to find it in the wild, so that's why it is so important to have it in zoos and aquaria.
The center has a laboratory where ajolotes are furiously reproducing.
The eggs are transparent, and you can see the larvae growing.
The end game is to try and introduce them back into the wild, but that's a way off yet.
Almost all of the country's ajolotes are in captivity, and that's because their natural habitat, the wetlands of the Xochimilco district, are too polluted and full of invasive species for them to survive there.
These ancient waterways, once the basis of Aztec Mexico, are now full of tilapia fish and red-eared slider turtles, which compete for food with the ajolotes and even eat them. Centre head Lizette Contreras and staff are hoping that by educating the public, they can help save not just the ajolotes, but the wetlands themselves, home to more than 10% of the country's biodiversity. The replica ajolotes and eggs help.
A female ajolote can produce from 50 to more than 1,000 eggs, depending on its species.
Even young Mexicans who will never have seen an ajolote in the wild know how important this animal is to their nation.
It's a Mexican symbol. It represents the country. When we talk about ajolotes, we're talking about Mexico.
That importance could extend to the wider world too. An animal that can regrow its limbs and internal organs, the medical world is already digging into its secret. Meanwhile, here at the zoo, they just want to see it survive and flourish. John Holman, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
So cutie patooties! I love this museum. And if you want to support them, I do have links in my description if you ever want to adopt an axolotl. Ajolote. But they're so cute. But yeah, this has been the live stream. I may stop live streaming in the evenings just because I may not be able to live stream on Fridays. I have a new job and my evenings will be filled up with that. So I don't just want to live stream once a week. I probably will do like Mondays and Wednesdays in the morning. but I'll still decide. I have like a day or so to decide, but I'll make a post of it here on YouTube and then on my social medias. But a couple of changes to come, not huge ones. The content itself of the live stream will not change. It's just the timing that's getting more and more difficult as I have more responsibilities. But I'm gonna go spend time with my family. Thank you so much for jumping on the live stream and learning. Until the next one, bye. See ya. Bye. Take care, y'all.